Well, thank you for staying with us. To end this program, we have another wonderful interview with a couple that I met recently, and they're giving these wonderful workshops which have to do with healing the wounds of life and also healing the wounds of history, of your life's history. And so they're going to be teaching at the community college, and Eduardo and Patricia Sanabria do these bilingual workshops. And so it works out really well as a tag team, I guess you could say, of teachers. Now, they've studied, they've gone through the program, and I just want to ask Patricia, because she does better in Spanish. Patricia, when did you start the workshops, los talleres?
We started in
2008?
2009.
Oh,
in
2009.
Juarez, in the churches.
Yeah, in the churches. In Juarez. And so at that time, people were hurting. There was a lot of violence, and so they were coming to the churches to try to find support groups and some place to express their sorrow and to begin to heal. That's beautiful, because that's so important, Patricia, especially for our Spanish-speaking people. And that's what you take care of in the workshops. You master that.
Yes.
And thank you for doing that. And of course, Eduardo, your husband, he takes on with the English. And so he'll be doing most of the talking. So Eduardo, why did you go through the program?
Well, we went through it because we personally had need for it. We actually met at a retreat for divorced people. So our relationship is based on that, on first of the healing and self-knowledge that comes from it. And it's a great base to start a relationship, because there are no hidden things, and we come from the same base. So that's how we
as now you're students,
yes.
as you could
and
call them.
now, from being there, from being participants, now we are the instructors of the.
So you were selected
workshops.
from the students to do this because you did it so well, and you learned so much. And so what are the basis of some of the philosophy or the structure of the program?
Well, the structure of the program is based on a lot of the work done by Dr. Kubler-Ross. She started with the grief knowledge back in the 70s. She did a lot of studies, and is the basis for the modern grief counseling that is done today. And there's a lot of other programs and a lot of other scientific stuff that we get into, like the work by brothers Lynn, who are pioneers in the healing of our interior healing.
Yes.
And so we try to get from everywhere else so that we can benefit.
And what's really interesting is that, we cross borders back and forth, and I'm so glad you're bringing these workshops to the community college. You'll be teaching now a class. Tell me where you're going to teach this coming semester in spring, and it's going to, semester starts in January, so tell me a little bit about those classes.
Yes, we're going to start 2 classes, and we like to call them workshops because they're hands-on. People come to get literally wet into the program. There's one starting on Tuesdays. It's going to be healing the wounds of life. That is going to be in this building, which we are at.
And the ASC in the Viscount.
The ASC in Viscount. Yes, that's going to be on Tuesdays from 6:30, starting at 6:30 to 8:30. And the other one is called Healing My History. That's going to be at the Rio Grande campus. That's going to be on Wednesdays, starting January the 28th.
In the evenings.
In the evenings.
Very good. And these are all sponsored through the Allied Health Program of Continuing Education.
A very nice lady, your co-worker, Marta de la Fuente, took a risk and invited us. And we think she's being a pioneer in helping the community, especially the Spanish-based community, because before this, there weren't any programs to take care of those people, and now we are.
And many times they're here. Aquí están esas personas. They're living here now. They've crossed. And this talleres, they're in Spanish, right, Patricia?
Sí, los talleres son en Spanish.
Okay, in Spanish. So it's very good. Although you can handle,
you
as a
team.
team.
We can handle people.
Bilingual.
If we had bilingual people, they can come and they can.
Yes.
And if there's a term that we don't understand, I'll be more than happy to jump in and help them out.
That's wonderful. I know you have a full-time job, and Pati's teaching Spanish, I think, here this coming semester as well. with our program. So
Yes.
we welcome you as our new Spanish
Thank
teacher at Monte Vista. And that's why we need Spanish speaking, because we need to teach our persons that are interested, seniors that are interested in learning Spanish. She's having a ball.
Of course.
¿Verdad, Patricia? You and your students,
Yes.
you have a wonderful class, and hopefully that, and I know they're going to love you because I've already seen the reaction of our students. They have a great time in taking on different themes. So anyway, back to these workshops. What are the reactions of the people that graduate from your program or complete the program?
That's a great question. They are very, very happy to finish our programs. There's actually a process where we see their faces changing literally from class to class, and by the third or fourth class we can see a different expression. People start looking happier, they start dressing better. You can see the impact in their lives that the workshop is having, and that is wonderful to us. And everybody, when they get to the last class, they're just incredibly happy, and their question is, when is the next one? What are you going to give us next? They start growing, they start taking responsibility for themselves, and they want more, and we'll be happy to give more.
And so you're designing, Pati, you're designing together the courses, Healing Your History. That is an amazing one. What does that have to do? La historia, nuestra historia, ¿qué es eso?
Es
Patricia,
la historia, is all the history in our life, and healing all the history for the people.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. It is based on
difficult times.
On a gentleman called Eric Erickson, who divided our life in 8 stages. So we go through the 8 stages, and we go back and help people heal from that. And a side effect that we get from that is people learn to be better parents, better grandparents.
Depending on the stage that
they
they're
learn,
at.
They learn about the stage, and they learn what is the virtue, what you need to protect at that stage. So not only does it help you, but it radiates to your family, to your community.
And you know, in my studies in counseling in my master's, we studied Erickson, and I remember that sometimes you get stuck. You get stuck in a particular development stage, and you never mature.
Correct.
And so we need to unstick people. I've known some people they've stuck at 11 years old.
They do. And that's what we do. We try to help people get it unstuck from that. And of course, if something were to happen like that, we can refer them to a professional, to a higher degree so that they can work
because
with
this
that.
is a workshop. This is
Of
just
course.
kind of, but it's been very successful. So we
so
really,
far, so good. Thank
we
you.
want to give your, of course, I've got to repeat your names, Patricia and Eduardo Sanabria. They are the facilitators of the workshops, and they've gone through the program, so they know. Give us the name of your company and, of course, your organization and the telephone number, maybe a website.
Sure.
Or an email or something.
The name of our company is International Center for Human Development. Dilo en español.
¿Ya en español?
Centro Internacional para el Desarrollo Humano.
Okay.
Yes, and we do have a website. It's www.ichd.cc, and anybody who's interested can also call 915-225-2295, and we'll be happy
Very
to.
good. Patricia, I know you were
there.
great in the Spanish, and so for our Spanish show, you took over. And for the English, well, we gave Eduardo a little time here. So I appreciate your visit. I'm glad to meet you. I hope someday that I can go through your program or make some referrals, because I get calls
All the time.
through my senior adult program. I get a lot of calls, and sometimes seniors are crying on the phone, and I don't know what to do.
Of course.
Okay.
Because I've got another job, and this one, and of course directing the program. But you're joining our wonderful faculty, and thank you for bringing this information to us. And of course, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you all, and Happy Holidays to everybody, by the way. We're starting a little early to tell you that, but we won't stop wishing you great things for your families. And this is just one thing that you can draw from. And we'll see you all next week. And thank you for coming.
Thank you
Thank you for
inviting
having me,
us.
Mary.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas too.
We'll see you next week.